what I've learned is that a lot of the platitudes are true. So I haven't heard too many people say things like, oh, I wish I spent more time at work, or I'm glad I got that bigger car because I worked hard for the bigger car, and I bought the bigger car, the car I always wanted, because my child really enjoyed it. Nobody says that about their kid. I mean, everybody wants the same things that I see. They all want another moment of going home and having dinner. They want another moment of sitting in a park like this with their kids. They want everyday. Most people want everyday things. If I can just lie in bed at night and fall asleep next to my partner. If I can just have breakfast with my daughter. That's what people want. And I know that's true. So every time I'm reaching for more than that, every time if I'm in a park and I'm like, well, yeah, but I really want to get to work because I really want to have this great lunch, and but what I have now is what everybody wants when they're dying. Like this moment right now, I'm not in pain. I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I'm alive in the world. Everything else is extra. That's all anybody seems to really want. People talk about taking the big trips, but in the end, they just want to be able to hold somebody's hand that they love. That's all they really want. Or hug somebody. All the kids want is to have their mom or dad lie in the bed next to them. They don't care about Disneyland and the next big thing. So how can I get that drilled? I seem to be particularly thick and dumb, and I need to have it pushed in my face day after day after day that this is what matters. Because otherwise I get lost in, oh, I really need to do that. I'm going to take this great bike ride. Or I'm going to go plan this trip. And it becomes so important that I miss on all the things that really matter, that I can see really matter. I seem to forget that. So I'm in a job where I'm reminded over and over and over again, and I'd have to be particularly incredibly stupid and dense not to get the message. I think you can resist the message, actually, because we're built not to, I don't think we're built to be happy as human beings. I think we're built to survive. Look, I do think that, Darwinism and natural selection and genetics, creates, evolution creates people. And, I'm here because of all my generations of people behind me, all the way back to the Stone Ages, that were not necessarily the happiest people, but were the ones that were worried enough to survive. So I have a lot of genetic, and I think we all do, enough genetic baggage that we're prone to look for the one thing that's going to be bad. So we can see many beautiful things, or you can have a great day. Let's put it this way. You can have a great day, but then somebody says to you something really hurtful. Justin, that was really stupid what you did. Someone could say that to you, and all the good things that happened during the day are gone now. And you come home and someone says, how was your day? And you go, oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. And then you tell the one story of the one thing. There was 1,000 good things. Someone says to you, oh, Justin, thanks so much. And you helped this person across the street and you felt like such a good guy, but then someone really made you feel crappy. We're built for the negative. We have this negativity bias. And I think it's because, like a couple of thousand years ago when there was two cavemen sitting there. You've heard the story before maybe, but the one that heard a rustling in the woods, Russell said, oh, maybe it's a tiger, I better get the hell out of here, and took off, all worried. The other one said, well, I'm sure it's, it's not. Well, the one, which gene survived? The one that sat there and said, well, even though there probably wasn't a tiger there, 99 times out of 100, the one time there was, that was the end of that genetic thing. So we're built for the negatives. We're built for survival. We're not really built for happiness. And that's why I think it takes work to be okay with things. We're not built to be okay. We're built to survive and pass our genes along. But somehow we've been given this awareness ability to be aware of that, to see that, so we have a capacity to change that. It's not easy, it's not default mode. Default mode is freaking out, panicking, negativity bias. That's the default mode, reactivity. But there's a part of us that can see that. And because we can see that, we can change it. I want to be in a place where I don't have to do too much of that at all. Where I don't have to create a story. You can see the story as just a story, because we can create any kind of story. You could say, today was great because I did this and it was sunny. Or the same day you could say, it was terrible because someone yelled at you. So the narrative that we weave together of our story of our lives is I guess it's useful for some people, but I'd like to be in a place where I just see that as what it is. It's just a story, and not to focus so much on that, and when I'm dying, it's just, well, it'll be another moment of, I hope, another moment of here I am breathing, and here I am present, and here I am striving for what I can, being as intentional as I can, being as aware as I can, and then it will stop. As opposed to, oh, look, I did this, 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 creating that story. I mean, I'll probably do that like everybody else, but I don't want it to be the most important thing. Because it's not the most important thing now. I don't want to keep saying now that oh, look, I've done this. I would rather, well, can I be present to this interview and not and in this park and in this moment right now. And just because to add things to it seems to almost take away. I guess, what do I want to say? I think it's part of what I said before. I'll just repeat it a little bit though. In that if you're fed up with what you've been trying to do, which is staying on the treadmill of pleasure, I want pleasure, I don't want pain. That's the treadmill. I want pleasure, I don't want pain. How can I plan to get good things? I don't want bad things. And yet you still remain dissatisfied. There is another way to look at it. It doesn't mean you don't stop looking for pleasurable things. It doesn't mean that you want bad things. You don't have to take it all so seriously. It doesn't have to rock your boat so much when you don't get what you want. And when you get what you think you didn't want, you begin to see that maybe that's actually not so bad sometimes. So you loosen up a little bit on the way things have to be. And the loosening up is amazing. The ability to loosen up and to not be stuck on the way things have to be, there's freedom in that. Even a little bit of loosening up, like there's a lot of freedom in that. Letting go a little bit of the way you think things have to be. And how can you do that? Well, there is a way to do that. There are ways and different ways of practices of doing that. I would just encourage people to try it for themselves and see. They're not going to feel better right away. You actually can feel worse for a while. As you start to see how you're creating your own suffering, it's actually depressing. When I began sitting and began doing some stuff, it's awful to see how much of my own misery is because I'm creating it in my own mind. So it's not a quick fix. It's not about self-improvement. It's about becoming more the person you want to be and being less a slave to your passions and desires. If that's possible. I think it's a little bit possible. That's it.